Sweet. All right, let's get started. So, guys, this is now episode 2 of BH Live, which is what I've decided to call these weekly Instagram programs. And each week, I'm going to try and interview an incredible creative from somewhere around the world in the industry who can come on and answer some questions and hopefully give you guys some incredible advice. Some quick plugs is, I don't know if you were here last week, but we've got a special deal with a website company called Cali Websites, where at the moment, if you send me a private message, I can give you a promo code to get you £100 off the setup of the website. We also have some other special deals coming with a clothing label who are going to give us, I think, 25% off their clothing label. They're a dance label, so that's great. So I'm trying to build this live as much as possible and get sponsorships and so on. However, this week, first interview and an absolute honor, we're going to be interviewing Adam Parson, who is an incredible choreographer over in LA. I'm just going to read a bit from the screen, so if you look away. American Dance Magazine said Adam Parson's brand of training creates unstoppable dancers. Proven repeatedly by the long list of students students who have worked with Christina Aguilera, Paul McCartney, Kylie Minogue, Celine Dion, Missy Elliott, Jason Derulo, Britney Spears, Ariana Grande, Beyonce, you get the point. And TV shows and films such as La La Land, Greatest Showman, Masked Singer, The Voice, and on Broadway in Frozen, Memphis, Wicked and Lion King, and Hamilton. Adam's notable jobs as a dancer include Prince, Pepsi, performing at the White House for President Clinton, and industry work for Fila. His choreography work includes Redken Hair, halftime shows at the Staples Center in LA, dance artist Majori Goodson, I might be pronouncing that wrong, dance films Mood Melinin, I could be pronouncing that wrong too, Love on a Sunday Afternoon, and Long Ago. Adam has also choreographed a prima ballerina of the Seoul National Ballet, the prima ballerina of the Ballet Folklorico, I'm so saying that wrong, de Mexico, Norway dance company Zurich Dance, Urban Dance in Australia, and La Luna Dance in Ancona, Italy. His director's hat finds him working in Seoul, Korea for Alice in Wonderland and Move 5, and several productions of his Commonality Dance Company, which is his own company. Adam is soon launching his mentorship program to help the next generation of dancers be successful working in the industry as the ones he has previously trained. And on a personal note, Adam is one of my best friends. He is an incredible person. He's helped me through ups and downs, and he's just, I can't describe it any more than an absolute incredible person. So I'm going to bring him on the line now. Hopefully he's there waiting for us. Waiting for Adam Parson. And he's asleep in the car. Hey, buddy, how are you?
What's up, buddy? How are you doing?
I'm very, very good. Say hello to everybody
Hi,
on the live at the moment.
How are you
from all over the world, actually. We've got people from everywhere. It's incredible.
Hello.
So we're going to be interviewing you today. Where are you right now?
In a car.
Whereabouts in the world?
I'm in San Diego right now. We just decided to take a drive. We've been quarantined in Palm Springs for the past 8-9 weeks.
Hard life.
And so we like to take road trips every once in a while, and so we decided to take a road trip down to San Diego, and we got down here and we were like, okay, we don't feel like driving back, so we just got a hotel and just chilled out.
Nice.
Now we're just chilling out. I'm waiting for the reason we're down here is because there's a lot of whales that come out at this time, so I want to fly my drone out to see the whales in a little bit.
Incredible. So we've only got an hour, and I've got 10 questions for you. Okay. Also, whoever's on the line, if you have any questions, put them in the question box below. And when I finish with these 10 questions, we're going to try and answer questions from you guys. So, Adam, first off, what got you into dancing?
Well, I started as a computer engineer in Washington, D.C. And my sister asked me to take her best friend to dance class. So they came down, they took the metro down into Washington, D.C., and then I drove them to dance class. And I walked into the room. I heard all this, heard all that noise, and I was like, what is that? So then I walked in, and I saw these girls, like, flipping and twisting, and these guys, like, doing splits on the floor and everything, and I was like, what the hell? What is this? So I just was like, I didn't know what this is all about. So I went to the teacher, I was like, what is this? And she goes, what do you mean, what is this? And I said, what are you doing? And she goes, it's jazz dance. And she's like, okay, well, how do I do it? And she said, well, how old are you? I said, I'm 26. And she goes, 26? What do you do now? I said, I'm a computer engineer. She said, just do computers. You're going to be much happier. I was like, no, I really, really like this. This is really cool. So she's like, okay, if you're really serious and you're going to start with the beginners, which means you're going to start with the 10-year-olds. I was like, fine. And I started with the 10-year-olds. And I knocked out a couple of kids. And then, you know, long story short, there's an agent, a dance agent called Tony Selznick, and he is co-owner of MSA, which is one of the bigger agencies in LA. And he had this program called Winners, and the Winners program was, you know, traveling around America looking for new talent. And so they saw me and a couple of my friends, Christina Woodard, and
Name drop.
Christina Woodard and Chad and Fawn, and they said, oh, we want you to be a super group. So I was like, okay. So then we got the super group. I drove out to LA, and while I was there doing the super group, somebody said, you should audition for the Edge Performing Arts Center. And I was like, what's that? And they said, it's a scholarship program. I was like, okay. Wow. So then I went, and they said you had to be 21 to 25, and I was 28 at that time.
Just outside.
So I'm 24. I was 24, and I got in, and that's how I got started in dance.
Nice. So you started really, really late then for a dancer.
I started really late, yeah.
What do you think was the biggest challenge for you starting so late?
You know, I had no technique. I had my ballet teacher at Terry's, when I was at Terry's, Elan, like literally grabbed me out of gymnastics class and was like, you're going to start doing this ballet class. And I was like, what is this stuff? And then the discipline that this lady gave me was the reason that I had the discipline to get into a program where 20 kids were already proficient in technique, proficient in jazz, proficient in all those things. But the discipline that she gave me from that ballet class helped me get through the challenging times, which was not being very flexible, and just learning how to learn choreography from other people, because I only had my teacher, you know. But I think that was the biggest challenge.
Amazing. And question number 2, but just a reminder, guys, if you do want to ask Adam a question, put the question in the question box below, and after I finish with my questions, I will put the questions to him. Okay, what was your most exciting job to date as a dancer, and what is your proudest achievement as a choreographer?
Oof.
Hard one.
The most exciting, I'd say dancing for Prince. I think that has to be like one of the best jobs I've ever done. Because there was an audition for 20 guys and 20 girls, and out of 800 people, I was one of the 20. So I think that was something I was really proud of, because I had worked so hard technically. I've been doing jazz, ballet, hip hop, contemporary, jazz funk, everything. And you needed all of those styles to do that job. So it was a really good feeling to get that job. So that was one of my most exciting moments.
Okay. Because
he flew us out to Minneapolis to his studio.
Whoa.
And we had to you know, learn the choreography there, and then we had to he was just amazing in the way that he instructed people and directed people. And you know, we would finish a take and he'd be like, okay, I want to be ready in 30, 29, 28. He'd start counting. And we were like, oh my God. So we had to run around, get makeup redone. The crew was running around, getting everything done. And he's 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. And we were ready. It was amazing. It was amazing, because he
so
was
much control.
Like, well, no, it's not that. It's like, he's like, I want everybody at their highest point. And if I can get everybody at their highest point, this will be the most optimal and most efficient dance music video. So it was really, really cool. And I'd say most proud choreographic achievement was I won a guest of honor hospitality award for coming out of the dance company in San Marino, Italy, which is a country inside of Italy. It's crazy. It's inside of Italy. So I won a hospitality award. I know, it was really cool.
Very, very cool. Okay, next question is, what do you look for in a dancer when you're casting for work?
Um, Technique.
Okay.
I'll tell you why I say technique first. Technique tells me that a dancer has decided that I need to be disciplined in my body enough to be able to do the work that's required. So I'm not going to just do the fun stuff. I'm not going to do the easy stuff. I'm going to do the work that it takes to have my machine ready to do what I need it to do. It's like, it's like a bodybuilder. Like if you're going to be a bodybuilder, you can't just have to do bodybuilding. You have to do it. And like dancing, you have to get your technique down. So I look for technique. I really, really look for individuality. Like Commonality Dance Company, which is my dance company, we only had, I never had two of the same race or two of the same size or two of the same color, because I want to show diversity in the world. So it's really important. So I'm also looking for individuality. I'm not saying that you can't have like two Japanese or two Mexicans or two Americans, but I look for that just to have a well-rounded company. Excuse me. I really look for an individual flavor. I think it's really important that you stand out on your own while doing my choreography. I don't want somebody to copy me. I want somebody to do my choreography but still have their flavor. That's where the technique is important, because if Shannon, my principal dancer, throws her arm out to the side with a lot of power, and David, who's from Mexico, and has a different body type and different background, but still has the same technique, throws his arm the same way, it's incredible. It's amazing. And that's why technique is so important to me. And then I would say the last thing is you got to be a good person.
Yeah.
You gotta be a good person. And when I say 100%. Good person, I mean that you have to be somebody who likes to have fun, somebody who likes to, if somebody needs help, they're going to help people. Somebody that understands like that sometimes things don't always work out the way that they're supposed to work out, and nobody's doing it on purpose, things like that. One day I had the company was going to perform in Switzerland, and we got stuck and we had a layover in London for 7 hours.
Whoa.
And we couldn't leave. And so I was like, you guys, I'm so sorry. I don't know. We're going to have to do this layover. And they said, let's go find something to eat. Let's go find something to do. Let's go practice the number. Like, that's what I mean. They weren't. I didn't have divas. I had people who wanted to contribute.
So they didn't sit there and moan. They just accepted it and got on with it.
Yeah. And because we had people that were able to contribute, that wanted to contribute, that shows up on stage, when we went to Switzerland, we got a standing ovation after the show. And I was like, oh my God. And then I'm leaving the show, and this guy goes, what are you doing? Why did you stop? I'm like, well, the show was over. He goes, yeah, but we gave you a standing ovation. We wanted you to do the encore. I was like, oh, I didn't realize. And he goes, you don't understand. We don't stand in Switzerland. I was like, what?
Whoa.
He's like, we didn't stand for complexions. We didn't stand for the Royal Ballet of Paris. I was like, oh my God. Like
this is a big deal.
Biggest achievements or biggest moments in my life. And that wasn't me. That was the dancers. And that's what is so important. The dancers just brought everything to life. And that's what I mean by having a good work ethic and being a good person.
Yeah, and having a personality. Always helps.
That and people tend to like get. I'm gonna go on my soapbox a little bit, but people tend to get on Instagram and just be somebody that they're not.
Yeah, and agreed.
Only because it's easier to follow what's happening than to be who you are, and may not necessarily get all the followers, or you know what I'm saying. So I think it's really important that you stay on top of Instagram, you stay on top of what you're doing, but I just think it's important that you stay true to who you are.
Yes.
My friend Kylie Shea, she's a ballet dancer, and she just said, I'm just going to start doing me. I'm going to start doing me. I'm
Yeah.
going to start, and, you know, she's got the most beautiful feet, the most beautiful legs, the most beautiful, but her work ethic behind it was amazing. She could have gone the route of all the other ballet Instagram people, but she didn't. She started doing booty bouncing on a bouncing ball in a tutu. She's great. She's great.
It's funny because you're literally backing up something I said last week about Instagram, is that all the people who try and get famous on Instagram by following what everyone else is doing never do. It's always the ones that just do themselves, and they find themselves famous suddenly because they're being original and doing their own thing. Cool. Okay, next question. If someone on this live wanted to come and dance in LA, what would you say are the biggest do's and the biggest don'ts?
That's a big question, Brendon.
It is a big question.
Going down.
We're going in. We're going in.
Be a good person, like I said.
Yeah.
Let me think about that really quick. Be a good person. Come to LA with an agenda. Come to LA with a reason to come. To say I want to dance in LA is not a good reason to come to LA. It's not. You have to have an agenda. When I say I want to dance in LA, that's great, but you have to say I want to dance in LA with blah blah blah, to do blah blah blah, because blah blah blah, whatever it is. I don't want to quantify that for you, because that's what it is for you.
Yeah.
But you have to really know why you're coming. It's really easy to see people that are here that just want to have a visa just to be in LA as opposed to working. You know, I get hit up a lot because I have a dance company.
Yeah,
I can get visas, but they're primarily for my dance company. Unless I come across somebody that is absolutely amazing, has their S together, has a focus, has a vision, has a clarity, I'm like, okay, well then I think I'll give my recommendation for this visa.
Yeah.
But it's really hard to find that because everybody wants to come out and just dance in LA.
Yes.
I get it. I came out to LA and danced in LA because I came from Virginia, because that's the only place I could either go to New York or Virginia. Or, I'm sorry, New York or California. I went to California. I know. I went to California. But obviously it's easy for me because I'm American. I think that if you're going to come to LA, you want to come to LA and dance. Like I said, be a good person. I would personally start to get contacts of people and start sending them emails saying, you know, my name is blah, 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 and I'm really interested in coming to LA to perform and work in the industry. Do you have any ideas or suggestions that you could give me? I mean, just first of all, just doing the groundwork is really, really important. It's one thing to know somebody, but it's another thing to know somebody that knows what they're doing. Yeah. It's one thing to know somebody. It's another thing to know somebody that can actually help you. And maybe they can't help you get the visa, but maybe they can help you with accommodations, or maybe they can help you with a job placement, or maybe they can help you. You know what I'm saying? There's different
network.
Different things. Yeah, it's network. It's definitely networking and getting to find out who's going to be available for you and who can help you do what you need to do. I would say the don'ts that you shouldn't do is don't contact somebody that you've never mentioned but met before and say, can you help me get a visa? I can't tell you how many times that's happened.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I cannot tell you how many times. Or you take my class once and then you ask me for a visa. No. You can't do that. You can't. What you're basically saying to that person is, I just want to use you because I like the class. You're not showing dedication to that artist. You're not showing dedication to that teacher or choreographer. You're just showing that, you know, it's like somebody takes your class once, Brendon, and then they put your name down as I danced for Brendon Hansford. Yeah. No, you didn't. You took a class, and there's nothing worse. There's a perfect example. There's a lady named Jackie Slight. She's very big in the industry. In the LA, in the teaching, and she owns her own convention. It's just terrible.
You're doing well today, dude. Don't worry.
No, I'm here to tell people the truth. So can you see me?
Yes, perfectly well. You look great. Don't worry. Darling.
So this guy walks into Jackie's audition, and she says she's looking at the resumes and blah 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 blah, and she likes his dancing, and so she said, "Oh, I like your dancing," and she goes, I love Terry Best. I see Terry Best is on your resume. I love Terry Best," and he said, "Oh, thanks," and you could see him get quiet, and I was like, "Here he comes," because Jackie doesn't play. She goes, "How long have you been training with Jackie, with Terry?" And he goes, well, you know, just for a little while." And she goes, "Well, what's a little while?" Because Jackie doesn't play. And he said, "Well, you know, I've been here for the summer, so I've been taking your classes for the summer." And she goes, "Okay, what time's your class?" He didn't know.
Brilliant.
He didn't know. And so she was like, "Thank you." She kicked him out. So, I mean, like,
ooh,
you got to be really smart about how you're going to do your work. And if you say that you've taken Brian Friedman's class, you better not say you've taken it once. No. You better not be on your resume you've taken it once, because I know Brian would be like this: take it off. Take it off. He doesn't play. He doesn't play. So, you know, do your work, do your groundwork, you know, and I mean, I guess we can talk about this now, but and we'll tap into it. But, you know, this is a prime opportunity for people to get online and actually learn people's stuff and learn their stuff and reach out to them and say, "Hey, you know, I don't know if you'd be interested in looking at my video." They might say yes, they might say no, but put the energy out there, you know, and they're bored. They don't have anything to do either. So they might be like, "Yeah, let me help this person out. Let me see what's going on." So do good, be authentic, and be honest, and do your homework and have your work ethic done. And don't put stuff down that's not true.
No, very true. And sort of following up on what you just said is see this time as a blessing to work on your networking, work on your craft,
100%.
to work on everything right now. This time is something we're never going to get again, hopefully. Fingers crossed. So don't sit there watching Netflix all day. Get on the computer, get messaging people, get moving, get doing things. Coming on live and speaking to Adam Parson. And ask questions, people. Oh, we got 5 already. So ask questions a bit below.
Let me tap into this really quick, because I thought it was really important. I think this is really important. One of my friends, who I think is like me, just like, go, 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 go. I called her up and I was like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And she was in a complete depression. I was like, "What's wrong?" She goes, I don't want to do anything. I don't feel like doing anything. I just feel like life has stopped. I was like, "But come on. Like, this is, you can get through this. You can get through this." And I realized at that point, you got to be careful, because not everybody, everybody is affected by this differently. So all I could do was support her and say, "Chelsea, I understand how you're feeling. I understand. I said, I understand how you're feeling. I can't understand how you're sitting in it, but I 100% support you sitting in it if it's going to help you get to the next level." And she goes, "Yeah, I think it's going to help me get to the next level. It's just really, this has been really hard for me." So for a lot of people, it's very hard. Yeah. You and I are just like pit bulls and are just going to just go. Yeah. But, you know, when I talked to her later on, she said, "Thank you for calling and talking to me. That support was what I needed." So I think it's important that you have that support out there. Yeah. And, you know, if you need to sit and watch Netflix, like I've watched a ton of seasons of stuff that I was just like, I'm just going to watch TV today. But at the same time, I balance it out by doing something like double on the other side.
Yeah. On a personal side, did you ever finish that series we started when I was last there? The Marvel one?
I didn't.
I don't have Disney, so I can't watch it.
Okay, I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah, let me know how it goes. All right, so I've got a silly question followed up by a pretty heavy question. So I thought I'd go in light and then heavy. Who's your best annoying friend you can't get rid of?
My best and annoying friend I can't get rid of?
Yeah.
Well, people can tell who it is just by laughing on the top of the screen.
I thought I'd make it light before the next heavy question. What would you say was the turning point for you in your life and your career, and why?
turning point.
You can either pick life or career or both.
I think the turning point in my life was when I got on scholarship
Okay.
at the Edge Performing Arts Center, because it just really opened my eyes and opened my eyes. It opened my eyes to a world of possibility. You know, when I was at Terry's School of Dance in Virginia, I loved her, and she will forever be the woman that started everything for me, literally everything. But when I came to California and started taking classes, and I had Terry Best and Helene Phillips and Cinder Che and Bill Prittich and Randy Allaire and all of these people that have done stuff in the industry as teachers, as choreographers, and as dancers themselves. It was a light bulb moment. It just really changed. And I noticed the difference when I would see like people who weren't on scholarship taking just classes. Yeah. Just taking classes. And it's such a different thing when you actually invest in your own body and mind to take somebody's experiences. Yeah. And they're literally putting them into you. Which is why I say, like, you know, a lot of the students that I have trained are literally everywhere working in the industry. I'm really proud of that. Literally working everywhere in the industry. But I got that training from the people behind me. Do you know what I mean? They gave me the tools and training to move forward with what I wanted to do as a choreographer and a teacher or whatever. But it was all of that schooling and the desire to learn dance that was the turning point for me. It wasn't the desire to take the latest and hottest classes. And it sucks because Instagram is, I don't think I would have been the same if Instagram was around when I was learning, because for me, watching somebody who is the best doing their best was what worked for me in terms of like, and when I say the best, I don't mean like, I mean like Barishnikov. I mean, you know, Gene Kelly. I mean, people who are actually, there are meat in the dance industry. You know what I mean? They're the ones who really cemented everything for us. And, you know, I know there's a lot of Instagram people that they'll have like 300,000 followers, and people are really amazed by that, which is it's good. And I'm happy for that person. But I'm not going to watch that person for the next 3 months to see what they're doing when I know that Gene Kelly has affected millions of people, and not only just on Instagram, but around the world. And the fact that Gene Kelly's profile on Instagram is already expanding and the man is dead, that says a lot. That says a lot. So it does, yeah. I'm looking at the people that are like, oh, well, they really did it. They know how to do it. So I met the director of Mission Impossible, and I asked him. Of course you did. Well, no, it's just like it was just jamming. No, an ex of mine was best friends with Kevin's sister, and so she was having a cancer benefit, and so he came to support her. Okay. And so while he was there, he was giving away a poster that he had signed and everything, and I won it. And so I was like, yes. And then I was like, so can I ask you just a quick question? I was like, what do you think it takes to be like the kind of director that you are, that has done like 4 or 5 Mission Impossibles? And also, he's called the script doctor. Anything that happens in Hollywood that there's an issue, they will go, here, fix it. And he'll fix it. And he makes tons of money because he knows what he's doing. Of course, yeah. So those people, I'm more interested in meeting somebody that knows how to work like that than some celebrity on Instagram, you know? Yeah. That's what I mean. Like find the people that are going to bolster what you want to do. It's really funny, actually. Go on. No, go ahead. No, I was going to say, really funny, because the next question you're kind of already answering, so I'm going to quickly ask it and then you can continue. Yeah, how important do you think social media is to a dancer's branding, and why? Social media is extremely important. It's extremely important because it's where we are now. It's what we're doing now. Yeah. Social media today is the ripped jeans of the 80s. It's the scarf around your waist of the 90s. It's what it is. It's it's here. What you do with social media is a whole different ballpark. It's a whole different ballpark. So if you're going to keep putting content up that shows you only doing jazz funk, why would somebody who I don't know, I'm trying to think of an English company, like why would somebody from Terrell's Chip Company who wants a jazz dancer and you have the perfect look and they're like, oh, and he keeps scrolling, they're like, oh, they just jazz funk. You're done.
Yeah.
You're done.
Already out.
Why would you do that? I think, and you know, I talked to my agent, and my agents are like, look, it sucks, but corporations are they're starting to look online to see what's popular and what's happening. Now, what's happening is, I'm going to keep it real with you. What's happening is a lot of people are getting jobs, and they've got like 300,000 followers, and they're getting the job, and they're getting in, and they don't know how to be professional. So then they get kicked out. And when they're kicked out, you know, it just makes it worse for them. Because now they have the reputation that, oh, just because you have a lot of followers doesn't mean you're good.
No.
And it doesn't mean that you're professional. And I think that's the biggest lesson. She said that's happened like 4 or 5 times, that, you know, they'll pick somebody like Brendon Hansford, who's worked in the industry, done choreography, he's done this, he's done that. Choreographer Sam Smith, I mean, who has done that? He's choreographer Sam Smith, and then they'll be like, okay, but he's only got 47,000 followers, but this person's got 80,000 or like 100,000 followers. Let's get them. So my agent will be like, are you sure you want to do that? Because Brendon actually has a reputation. And they're like, oh, yeah, it's fine, because he has more followers. Then they use that person, and they come back, and Lisa will say to them, you just paid money for nothing. So, you know what I mean? Like, you got to listen to us. So it's important that you curate. That's kind of what my mentorship program talks about. It's about how you curate your social media so that you look as professional as possible, because basically social media is your resume. It's your life resume. It's a life resume.
If you wouldn't put it on your website, don't put it on your social media, is what I tell everybody.
It's true. I mean, that, and that's what I tell everybody as well. And I think people that go on rants, like I've seen people go on, you and I have seen people go on rants, and you're like, what are you doing? Why are you saying this? And why are you leaving it up? Like,
I can't count the conversations we've had on the back of someone else's rant.
Yeah. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, or, you know, the thing that's really, really important to know is, like, if something happens, don't jump on the bandwagon and be like, yeah, what a jerk, what an idiot, if you don't know the sources yourself. Because what happens is the people comes back and they look at you and they're like, well, you said this is what happened. And they're like, oh, but I...
Too late.
Too late.
Ever so late. Right, let's move on. Just because it's already half an hour and we're halfway through. So, in your opinion, how has coronavirus affected the industry, and what do you think it's going to look like on the other side?
Well, I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was saying that he thinks that online classes are here to stay. And I agree with him, but he also said, I think it's going to replace dance. And I was like, are you nuts? Are you insane? Are you insane?
Yeah.
If I want to dance, dance is such a social thing. Yeah. So I couldn't understand why he was saying that. He was just saying because of the ease and the ease of it, and the just how easy it is to use, and the accessibility. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
The accessibility of what people can do in the industry or for the industry. But I was like, I know Matthew Lambden is here, I think. Yeah. I want to dance next to Matt. I don't want to dance. I don't want to dance. I love the social media aspect, but I want to dance. So I think the coronavirus has affected the dance industry, and that a couple of things are happening. Yeah. I think that the dance industry commercially is going to explode. And let me explain why. Go on. Because all of the industries, all the corporations, all the businesses are going to need to have people ready to promote their products when we're free again. Yeah. So it's going to explode. So people need to be ready for when it explodes. It's going to explode. So you've got you literally have to be, amen, Matt. You literally have to be ready for that. So I think, like you said, coronavirus it's a blessing and a curse. It's a curse because we can't dance together. It's a blessing because it's going to give us a lot more opportunities to work.
Yeah, and to kind of go on the back of what you just said is the reason I believe preparation is so key now is before it was, I think the percentage was 40% of dancers were out of work in the UK. I can't talk for LA, and 60% were working. So only 40% were able to audition. Now 100% of the dancers are out of work, and they're all going to be rushing for the same job. So if you don't put your legwork in now, start networking, start reaching out, start working on your dancing, do the online classes, get yourself ready. You're just going to get swarmed out by everybody. I think it's 64,000 dancers in London who are classed as a dancer. You're going to be competing against so many people. So do the legwork now so you don't have to audition. That's what I'm planning anyway.
No, I
I'm
think
trying to
you're
get in
100%
that.
right.
Sweet. Right. What's the difference between this is a good question, actually. We spoke about this yesterday. What's the difference between a choreographer, a teacher, an educator, and a master? Because this gets confused a lot.
A choreographer gives the choreography, and that's it. A teacher teaches the choreography and can explain it better than a choreographer.
Yeah.
An educator can actually tell you muscularly, physically, technically how to do the choreography. And a master has been doing it for 20 years.
Yeah.
And a master, so when people say they're master teachers, it really blows my mind because, you know, somebody said to me, "You're a master teacher." I'm like, yeah, I still feel like I'm learning. I don't feel like I've earned that title yet. And, you know, my teacher, my master said, "No, you're a master." And I was like, okay, I have to, I just, it's an uncomfortable feeling for me, but it's something that I have to own. I have been dancing and teaching. I have been teaching I have been educating for over 25 years. So I can say that I'm a master teacher, but when I look at my teacher, that's why I call her Yoda. So there's a master teacher and there's Yoda, right?
Yeah.
And she's a Yoda. And it's very rare to get to Yoda status. I'm working towards it, but it is very rare to get to Yoda status. And so when somebody says, I'm a master teacher, I'm like, I don't know if that's true, because if you're only 20 years old, how can you be a master teacher? If you're 16 years old or you're 18 years old, how are you teaching a master class? I don't understand. And I think people want that title of master class because it's like, it's the top of the top, but you're not a master yet.
No.
So why would you call it a master class? Why would you just call it class?
Good.
Or why wouldn't you just call it workshop? But calling it a master class.
It's the same. Yeah. Completely agree with you on that.
Calling it a master class is something very different. It's like, you know, it's like going to Target and saying, this is a Prada. What? Well, I mean, I can wear it like a shirt. So, it's like a Prada.
I knew exactly where you were going to go then.
But you know I'm right, Brendon.
Yeah.
You know I'm right. It's just like...
I just love your analogies.
You have to put the time in. That's what I'm saying. There is a reason that Target sells a certain amount of clothing, and there's a reason that Prada sells a certain amount of clothing. Yeah. And there's a reason that you love the fact that you can afford Target, and there's a reason that you dream of buying Prada or Gucci or whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because the time and the craft has been taken in there for that artist to say, no, my stuff costs this much. Yeah. So I think it's, and that's another thing. Like somebody was just telling me that there was a young dancer. I'm not going to say who it is. Nope. But she wanted to do online classes, and she was charging $45 a class. Ouch. Per person, $45 per person for a master class online.
Do you know how many she got?
I don't. But the sad thing is, some people would pay that because she has a huge YouTube following. But my thing is, you'd pay $35 when you could pay $3 $10 and take classes of people who really can teach you something and move you forward. it's about learning how to.
Yeah.
It's just about learning your priorities. That's all.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, we've got 2 more questions left, and then we're gonna bring the questions to they're accumulating at the bottom.
Okay.
What's the most important advice you can give to a dancer working in the industry?
Keep taking class.
Class.
I keep, like, all of the dancers that I've trained, I've always said to them, you're not done just because you're not on scholarship. Yeah. You're not done just because you stop, because you've got this job. You're not done. Some of the most working people in the industry that I know still take class.
Yeah.
They keep honing their craft, because you can't just take. I'm going to bring this up again. There was a person that was on scholarship, and he was a phenomenal dancer. He worked really, really hard, and everybody loved his work, like his work ethic. Then he, okay, I'm not going to say everything, but then he got a really big job. He got a really, really big job, like something that everybody in the industry wanted. Not Michael Jackson, but something of that caliber. And he got the job, and he was doing really well. And then he stopped taking class. And they were like, dude, you keep taking class. He's like, oh, no, it's fine. I got this. No. They went back, and they asked everybody to come back. And they looked at him, and they were like, what's going on? And they were like, he's like, nothing. Why? I was like, well, they let him go.
Whoa.
They let him go because he did not look the same. Look, when you work with somebody in the industry, you have shown a level of consistency that you are willing to deliver every single time. The minute that you are working for somebody like, and it wasn't J-Lo, but the minute that you're working for somebody like J-Lo, and she's hired you, and she's kept you at this level, you've hired at this level, and you come back and you're here,
gone.
Shouldn't have time.
The end of that.
Yeah, no time.
That's it. Okay, last question from me, and then we'll put it out to everybody. Is what's the number one tip?
Yes, Aaron, never stop learning. Never stop learning.
For the podcast, Erin Jade put never stop learning on the chat at the bottom. What's the number one tip you would give to a graduating dancer facing the industry for the first time?
Well, particularly during this Corona time, I was just telling people in my mentorship course, you need to start reaching out to people now.
Yeah.
Let them know that you're available. Let them know that you're still training. You're taking online courses. Let them know that you're taking online courses in multiple styles. Be able to back that up when when everything comes out of it. Like you said earlier, Brendon, just network and stay connected, be relevant, work on your social media profile, make it look the best it can possibly be. Don't just put these faces on Instagram. Don't just put these faces on Instagram. Don't just do this with your hair on Instagram. What the hell am I going to do with that on stage? What am I going to do with that on stage? Make sure that you're putting stuff that is relevant.
Yeah.
Put a picture of you in an arabesque. Put a picture of you in a hip-hop pose. Put a picture of you in a contemporary pose. Put a video up you of contemporary hip-hop and jazz. Start to curate your profile so people go, wow, I could use her in anything. I could use him in anything. Yeah. That's what I say.
Yeah, so I've always said that they should better look at your profile and in 5 seconds know exactly what you do. And if they can't, then you're not posting the right things. You need to do. Sick. Okay, well, it's 9 questions we've got from, I want to say, the audience. Okay, first up from Emma is what are your top 3 tips for improving skills in lockdown? I know you kind of said them, but just reiterate them for us.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Like I said, take online courses. And you know what the best, I think, okay, I'm going to say take online courses. Watch things that you would not normally watch, like watch a ballet, watch a tap, watch a hip hop number, watch a movie that's well, I mean, because I haven't found a lot of good dance movies lately.
I know a really good one. It's called Building a Dancer.
Oh yeah, I have a friend that I think did that. It was a really good show. It was really. I think it's on. I think you can get it on iTunes.
Yeah, and Amazon and Google Play, I heard as well.
Yeah, I heard it's amazing.
Building a Dancer, it's got to be watched.
Yeah, it's definitely one. So yes, take class, do your research on dance things. But the most important thing that I would say is tape yourself and watch it.
Yeah.
And see what you look like.
Because you don't have a teacher there to correct you, so you've got to be able to self-correct.
Yes, tape yourself and watch it. If you're able to get to tape the teacher doing the choreography, do that. Then tape yourself, watch it, and then go side by side and go, oh, his arm didn't do that. Oh, her hips didn't do that. Oh, her leg didn't do that. Okay, I'm really not doing something like that.
That's good advice.
I would say that is the most important thing, is do your own research on your own self.
Again, you kind of answered this, but how do you see the industry post-lockdown? If you want to summarize, just so we can answer the question again.
Yeah, industry post-lockdown will be that dancers, I think, will be in high demand, because all the corporations and businesses need to get their advertising back out there to let people know, hey, we're back. So I think that the industry is going to explode for dancers, and employment in dancers. So get ready. So be ready. Be ready.
Be prepped.
Be ready.
Be prepped. Okay. If you can't afford to be in LA right now, how do we get seen from someone in LA?
Say that again.
If you haven't got the money or the means or the way to get to LA after this lockdown, what's a good way to be seen by the people in LA? Well, again, you kind of answered, but reiterate.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Instagram is the way to be seen, but how do you get seen by your favorite choreographer if they've got 80 million followers? How do you get seen? You can DM them, but that doesn't mean it's actually going to go through. But, one of the things that you can do is start just curating your profile.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in putting energy. I just found this new song so good. And Lamborghini just drove by. Beautiful. And it said, he says, where your focus goes, your energy flows.
Very true.
And I was like,
oh my God.
So
true. Yeah.
Where your focus goes, your energy flows. So if you're focused on coming to LA and you want to be seen in LA by people, then start doing some research on those people. Start doing some, like I said, I feel like a lot of people are like, I can't get their information. I can't get their information. That's why it's so fun to do escape rooms, because it makes you think outside of your brain. Yeah. Serious. It makes you think outside of your brain. And you might be like this, well, I can only DM them. Well, no, you could actually Google that person and see if they have any other platforms like LinkedIn or an agency or their own website. Don't just go to Instagram because that's the only place you think that person has content. I, as a choreographer, have all different kinds of places for people to get in contact with me. But also, I also have different places for other people to see me as well. Yeah. Because I want to work. I want to work just like everybody else wants to work. So I don't use one platform as one area to don't use Yanola. Okay, I gotta say this real quick. My friend Yanola is online,
and you can see his legs. You can see his leg in the photo.
Are one of the most amazing classes, and this is what I'm talking about. You might not know his Yanola. You might not know Yanola. Such a tongue twister. But if you want to get better, take his class. If you want to get technically better, take his class. If you want to get emotionally better, take his class. If you want to get like training, take his class. It's challenging. It's not easy, but it's the kind of work that if you put into it, you will be so satisfied. Love him.
Quick plug.
I love that guy. I love that guy. But anyway, what was I saying? I forgot.
I completely forgot as well. Should we go to the next question?
Yeah. Well, what was the previous question?
If you can't afford to get to LA or can't get there,
right. So just do your network. Just find alternate ways of looking. Look at their agencies. Look if they have a personal website. Look at LinkedIn. Look on Facebook. Look at other ways to contact that person.
Got it. So think outside the box is the main one.
Yeah.
Is 18 too young to be emailing stuff over to agents and reaching out to them?
No. But sorry, it's really hot in this car. No, but you have to, this is something that's really important for you to know. If you want to work in the agency, and let's say that you're a curly redhead and you're just starting in the industry, and the agency already has a curly redhead who looks just like you, what do you have to offer them that's going to make them give you a second look?
Yeah.
So you have to think about that and go, okay. And none of it's bad. All of this is good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really try to make a point of telling people that this is all the information I'm giving you should not deter you. It should excite you, because it just makes you go, okay, this and that and this and that. So if you're a redhead, curly redhead out there, and you want to work in the industry with an agency that already has 3 curly redheads, what do you have to offer?
Yeah.
What do you have to bring?
What is your unique selling point?
Exactly. So you can be 18, but you really just have to have a unique selling point. And this is why it's so important to be an individual.
Yeah.
It's why it's so important to be unique. You know, if you have 3 redheads that are curly hair and everything, and they're the same bubbly personality, and you're like, well, that's not me. Well, then you stand out. You know what I mean? You're like, I'm more of the serious focused one, then you stand out. And it goes vice versa. It doesn't mean that you can't have the same personality, but you just have to bring something different to it.
Yeah. Figure out what it is and then just make sure it can be seen. All right. What would you recommend is good for social media? Very open question. You can interpret that how you wish.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. Well, I think we had talked about this earlier, but I think it's really important that you maintain your highest self on the internet. Not only on social media, just on the internet. Yeah. You need to maintain your highest self on the internet, so that when people see you, they see the family person, they see the fun person, they see the dedicated person, they see the honest person, they see the driven person.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on 1 second. It is so hot in this car.
You're literally baking in there.
Can you hear me, Brendon?
Yeah, we can still hear you. It's fine. Take your time.
So I think it's important that you show the best of yourself. If you keep putting a picture, if you keep putting a video up of you grabbing your leg and doing all of this, what are you telling people? Like, what? I'm not, and I'm being serious, Brendon. What
I know you are.
If you put up, if I scroll on your profile and the last 15 poses that I see is half of your butt in the air, half of your leg in the air, you crawling on the ground, you gotta say to yourself, what's more important to me, my integrity or likes, my integrity or followers? Like, if you could put your integrity out there, you're probably you may not get as many likes and followers, but I only have 7,000 followers, but I know almost all of those 7,000 followers because I have integrity and I have dedication to my craft, and that's why the people are there. And I know that those are the only 7,000 I need. What do I need 800,000 followers for? It would be nice to have, and I'm not saying that I wouldn't like to have that. Yeah. I'd be an idiot and I would be a hypocrite if I didn't say I would love to have 1 million followers. I'd be a liar.
Of course. Know what I mean? Yeah.
But I don't want to do it in a way that's going to make people want to follow me just because I followed the status quo. Yeah. I want to make sure that people want to follow me because of what I can offer them, and not because I'm following the trend of what's popular on TikTok or Instagram.
Yeah. Sat just said he has 100 followers. So sad.
That's fine. As long as those 100 followers are inspired by you, that's the most important thing. If you have 100 people that are like, I really like this guy and what he stands for, and I really like what he believes in, that's really important. So you don't think that you shouldn't negate that, because, and I'll tell you why you shouldn't negate that, because this is something that my teacher told me that I had to learn when I was on scholarship. I did something really cool in class, and she said, oh, Adam, that was great. That was amazing. I was like, oh, and she was like, how dare you? How dare you stop me from giving you a compliment? And how dare you stop me from appreciating your work? And I was like, oh, I will never do that again. So the whole point is there are 100 people that appreciate what you do and who you are. And you should appreciate that.
So I'm laughing because that's one of my best mates. He's not a dancer. He was being silly. But I let you go off on one.
Well, still, he's got funny. He's got 100 people think he's funny.
Yeah, exactly, right? And he wants me to shout out to Tower Utility, his company, who supply gas and something else. I don't really know. He talks and I shut off and I'm like, cool. And there was a question from Matthew. What advice would you give specifically to choreographers who want to go over to LA and you've got 1.5 minutes to finish? And you've got 1 minute. We're running out of time. It's giving me the timer.
Is this for Matt? Is this for me? Is it
from Matt to you?
Well, if it's Matt, then call me.
Sum it up. Give me some bullet points for choreographers who want to move to LA, because I want to know this as well.
I think that you have to have a really strong resume. I think you have to have a really strong point of view, really strong point of view that's going to make you stand out from everybody who's already here. I think you have to have, and when I say really strong resume, I mean work that is something that is reputable. It doesn't necessarily have to be, doesn't have to be industry work if you don't have industry work, but you have to be able to, if you're a choreographer, you should be able to go and save your money, buy space, and put something together that is absolutely amazing that you can put on your resume to put out there that people go, I love that. That's really interesting. Andrew Winghart is a choreographer, and he used 100 girls and one guy in these blue dresses and everything. It was really amazing, and Lord saw it and she fell in love with it. He's her choreographer. Cool. So, yeah.
Perfect. I have to cut you anyway because I've got 45 seconds and I've got to do an outro. So massive thank you to Adam for coming on the line today. For the people that know, Adam's one of my best mates. He lives over in LA. He's an insane choreographer. And if you're just coming on the line now, this will go on YouTube. It will go onto a podcast. And I'm going to post it on IGTV afterwards. And finally, make sure you tune in next week where I'll be interviewing Vaughan Arnell, one of the biggest choreographers in the world for music videos and commercials. He's the one who got me the job with Sam Smith, Rod Stewart, Rick Ashley. So that's going to be a very, very, very interesting interview, especially on, as a dancer or performer, how would you get involved with his commercials, his music videos? So he's going to be giving some solid advice. Again, massive thank you to Adam. I know everybody's clapping you at home. And
thank you, guys.
4 seconds, so bye.
Bye.